Welcome to the deep dive. You sent us some really interesting sources about, well, beach experiences. And today we're planning to go a bit deeper than just, sun and sand. We want to unpack some of the core reasons these places seem to resonate so much with people.
Absolutely, yeah. Looking through that material is fascinating how um, three big ideas really emerged quite strongly. First, this idea of beaches offering a specific kind of, let's say, rejuvenating relaxation.
Okay.
Then how they act as this sort of captivating call to action and invitation to explore. And third, maybe the most relatable one, how they help create these really timeless family memories.
That's interesting. And, the history piece you found was quite revealing, too. It wasn't always just about holidays, was it?
No, not at all. The sources pointed out that way back in the 17th, 18th centuries, sea bathing was actually prescribed by doctors.
Medically prescribed.
Yeah, in Europe and the colonies. It started as like a health thing, and only later did it really morph into the leisure activity we think of today.
Hmm. Does that historical angle, does it add weight for you to this idea that beaches offer something more profound than just a tan?
I think it does, yeah. It
Yeah.
suggests this, maybe this connection to the sea runs deeper than just wanting a break. It's perhaps more ingrained.
Yeah.
So maybe we start with that first theme, this rejuvenating relaxation idea. It's more than just, chilling out.
Right. Let's dig into that because it's not just about having a nap by the waves, is it? Your sources suggested that while, okay, any beach might offer an escape, some places are really good at providing this deeper rejuvenation.
Exactly.
Places like the quieter bits of the Gulf Coast, the Panhandle, and some secluded spots in the Florida Keys were mentioned. What made those stand out in the reading, do you think? Why that difference in relaxation?
Well, it seemed to be about the environment itself influencing the depth of the unwinding.
Hmm.
So places like Navarre Beach, Santa Rosa Beach,
Hmm.
they were mentioned offering captivating relaxation.
Captivating
Yeah.
relaxation. Okay.
Yeah, it implies it's not just like quiet, it's actively restorative. Maybe it's the pace, fewer crowds. What was your take?
Well, it sort of clicked for me when I read that Anne Morrow Lindbergh quote from Gift from the Sea.
Ah,
She
yes.
talks about the sea having this elemental power, how it lies under all of us.
Hmm.
And that really seemed to connect with why those quieter places might allow for a deeper unwinding. It's like the everyday noise just gets washed away by something bigger.
That's a great connection. It makes you think maybe those quieter spots literally let our nervous systems calm down more fully.
Mm.
So it's less a temporary pause and more of a, I don't know, a reset, fostering genuine well-being, maybe even personal renewal.
Mhm.
It does make you wonder about the physiological side of that elemental power.
It really does. Okay, so moving from pure relaxation, the sources also talked about beaches as an authentic invitation to engage and explore. So, shifting gears from zoning out to actually discovering things, what makes that invitation feel authentic based on the reading?
That's a good question.
Mhm.
The sources listed quite a few Florida beaches they called widely agreed upon authentic beach resorts.
Mhm.
And it was real mix. Miami Beach, Clearwater, Panama City Beach.
Okay, so quite varied.
Very varied. Siesta Key, Sanibel, Captiva, Navarre Beach pops up again. Then San Agustin, Amelia Island, Key West, Islamorada. The sheer diversity is, well, it's notable. What did that suggest to you?
Well, it struck me that it's definitely not a one size fits all thing. You've got Miami's energy, Clearwater's family vibe, Sanibel's nature focus.
Right, history in St. Augustine.
Yeah, exactly. And the unique feel of the keys. It's like each one offers a different hook, a different reason to get up and, look around.
Spot on. And the sources said something like excellent shore vacations, craft stunning, lasting memories, a real and ideal nudge for guests to join in and see what's around.
Mm.
So the place itself kind of encourages you to explore, creating chances for those memorable moments.
It makes me think of that T.S. Eliot quote, the one, "We shall not cease from exploration."
And the end of all our exploring will be to arrive where we started and know the place for the first time.
Yeah. Applying that here is interesting, isn't it? The idea that these trips aren't just about seeing somewhere new, but maybe about gaining a new perspective on the place, maybe even on ourselves, through that exploration.
Precisely. It suggests these better resorts facilitate a journey, not just physically moving around, but maybe an internal one too. You engage, you try things, you see different sides of the place, and you come away richer for it.
Okay. Now let's talk about something that probably connects with almost everyone listening, this idea of beaches helping create timeless family memories. There was a really evocative feel to this in the sources. What stood out for you?
I think it was the metaphor, really.
Mhm.
The beach as this constant but always changing backdrop. The tide comes in, goes out, changes the shoreline. but the shared experience of being there
With family.
with family, feeling the same sun, hearing those same waves, maybe building sandcastles that you know won't last.
Yeah.
Those shared sensory inputs somehow create these incredibly lasting moments.
It's about that shared witness, isn't it? Experiencing something so vast like the ocean together.
Yeah,
And the sources stress that it doesn't matter so much if it's a busy beach or a quiet one.
right.
It's the sharing of that space, that time, that builds those family bonds. The beach is almost like this beautiful neutral ground for connection.
And it's probably something that, you listening, thinking about this, you likely have your own versions of these memories. They're not just photos. They become part of the family lore, the stories you tell over and over.
Absolutely. That makes a lot of sense. Now, the sources also made a point of highlighting how different Florida resorts cater to different spirits, different types of travelers.
Yeah, that's really key
Yeah.
because not everyone wants the same thing from a beach trip. The quieter spots, like along the Gulf Coast and the Panhandle,
Mm.
they were painted as these sanctuaries of peace. Places where, as one source put it, serenity writes its own story. It evokes this image of really escaping the noise, finding calm in that gentle rhythm of the waves.
Yeah, you can picture who that appeals to, can't you? Someone really needing to disconnect, recharge, in quiet solitude. And then contrasting that, you have the Florida Keys. Still tranquil, but a different flavor, that island time vibe.
Exactly. It's presented more as this chance to just unwind completely, get off the grid in a secluded paradise, experiencing the secret whispers of the Florida Keys, finding your own little sanctuary. That's still escape, still peace, but maybe more laid back, less about deep solitude.
So whether you're drawn to the, let's say, the serene Gulf or the relaxed Keys, the underlying value is still that opportunity for deep rejuvenation. It's just tailored differently.
That seems to be the idea. And,
Yeah.
putting it all together, what these sources really highlight is that a beach trip can be so much more than just, a break. It's potentially about that deep rejuvenation, that genuine call to explore, and the creation of those incredibly important family memories.
It definitely makes you think differently about why you might head to the shore, doesn't it? It's maybe less about just escaping from something and more about connecting to something. Nature, family, maybe even yourself.
Which brings us to a final thought, perhaps, for you listening. Thinking about these deeper values we've discussed, the rejuvenation, the call to action, the family memories. Which one resonates most strongly with you? When you think about going to the beach, what are you really seeking? And maybe consider how that elemental power of the sea that Lindbergh talked about might play a role in your own renewal and the memories you hope to make.